timpani is amazing, and a timpani head is extraordinary, and the bowl of a timpani, creating that resonance is unbelievable. But for me, the key is the actual pedal. And it's not unusual for percussion players to experiment getting a lot of sound effects from the timpani and manipulating the pedal, especially when you experiment by putting things on top of the timpani. And so really I just want to demonstrate one or two effects, and the sky is the limit, quite literally, with this kind of thing. But I suppose the message in this little session is experiment, don't be afraid, just really, really go out there and see what the possibilities are. And so I've just got a few bits and pieces on these trays, and I've got a couple of Super Ball mallets here. If I just manipulate the pedal a little bit, and I just that's just one tiny thing, using two little Super Balls there. So again, you can just really experiment there. What else do I have? Well, a little while ago, I did a project called Shakespeare's Lives, and I based a sound story on The Tempest. And of course, we had to think about very kind of loud sounds. Imagine the ship crashing against the rocks and things like that. So what I did was that I placed this large buffalo drum on top of the timpani, and I strung up some chains like this, and I just literally went crashing against the timpani. So let me see what I've got here. So here we go, the ship crashing against the rocks. So the extremes in dynamics are quite extraordinary. Another project I did was about big data, and it was making the invisible audible. And I actually turned this upside down, and what did I do? I got another drum. This is a tiny, tiny little piccolo snare drum, and I used some really light sticks, so little wire brush here and a Korean chopstick. So it's interesting because there we have a lot more dry sounds, but the foot is constantly bringing the pedal up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's a really different kind of sound world that we have there, really, really dry as opposed to this sort of wall of sound with the waves and the ship crashing against the rocks there. But if we turn the buffalo drum round, and if I take this one off, and let me see, just use thin timbali sticks here, we just get almost like, well, what is the lowest sound really? It's as though we've got a bass snare drum happening here. So we get this kind of, the vibration of the buffalo drum rattling on the timpani head there, and then another type of bass drum sound coming from the actual timpani head itself when I strike that. So this is sort of, again, a big, big sound. Snare drums going on there, but obviously they're able to change their pitch there. So it's really wonderful what you can do. But then of course we can have very soft, very delicate sounds as well. So if I pop that down, and here's just a little, 6 little music boxes, baby music boxes. I'll set them off. And I'm just continuing with the pedal there. So just very, very subtly we get this change there. So really the idea of this, well actually I've got one more thing here, which is a mouth siren. And again, I'm going to manipulate this pedal, see what happens. Lots of things you can do, there really are. So, just, have fun with this. It's almost as though it's opening up so many more instruments. It really is. And a lot of the sound effects, you think, well, you know, has that been electronically manipulated? But not at all. It's just your imagination just going firing in all different directions there. So go and explore.